Hey everybody, it's Christina. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today I'm stepping out of my quick and easy card comfort zone and making a card today that took me 2 hours to put together. And that's because it's a card that I normally wouldn't do. It's a nice floral pattern and I'm really excited to share it with you today. So let's hop into today's card. We're going to be using this stamp set called Always in Bloom by Paper Tray Ink. It's from, I think it's one of their newer releases. It could be even the one before. But I love these and thought it'd be fun to stamp these out. I usually don't do a lot of florals, but I really want to get into using floral stamps, which is something I've never really done before. So I'm definitely stepping out of my comfort zone with this one. I have a piece of 110-pound cardstock with my Misti, and then I have my stamps. I did go ahead and stamp out the flowers already just because I wanted to make sure I had the layers right and then also the right colors that I want to use. As a matter of fact, I even picked out one of these little color scheme cards from my color boxes, and I just went in and grabbed a card randomly and picked out the colors that were pretty close to this one. I don't have one that's this color, but I kind of went with 2 shades of green, and then I did these 2 colors, and I pulled out I didn't pull out a dark gray. I pulled out Cobblestone, which is Concord and Nines. So we're going to be doing that. And I did stamp, like I said, I stamped these out already because I want to make sure I had the layers right because I'm not used to doing this. Like I said, this is something that's way out of my comfort zone. So I'm going to grab the stamps that I need. So I need this one. And I'm going to do all of them because I'm not sure if I'm going to use all of these. I think there's 3 flowers. So that one, and there's one in this other piece too. And that one. All right, so we're just gonna do these all at once. Just gonna pick them up with the lid of my Misti. Nice and stuck to my cardstock, and in here I have my waffle flower grip mat, which holds everything into place, my cardstock. And for my colors, I picked out Sorbet and Cayenne, or Cyan, however you, Cayenne. Okay, so we're gonna go with the lighter color, which is gonna be Sorbet. And I'm not liking the way this one is picking up all those lines. So we're just going to stamp that one more time. I am going to grab my little pressure tool here and stamp out that one. I like to just spray water and then grab one of my lint-free cloths and just clean off my stamps. I just found that to be the easiest way for me. So we're going to get these cleaned off. So I'm just lining up my next layer, and I will tell you, it takes me a while to get this lined up because I'm just worried that I'm going to stamp it and it's going to be wrong. So, and I do feel like this one is not lined up right. We're going to try there. Okay, so we're going to close the door, pick up our stamps. And then I am going to come in with my darker color, which is going to be Concord and Ninth again. I already got it on my fingers. That comes out so pretty. And then we just need to stamp our centerpieces. So I'm just not sure which one goes with which. So I think we're going to just wing this one. So for this one, I'm just going to place the centerpieces. And I apologize if my head's getting in the way. I need to be able to see when I'm looking directly over the top of these. So I am going to stamp those out with black ink. And there we go. I'm going to set these aside to just finish doing their blending with the colors as they dry back. But I think they came out pretty nice. I love those two colors together. There are 2 leaves in here that layer, so I'm going to come in with those 2. And then I also think I want to do, there's one in here that has berries. There's actually probably buds, they're not berries. And then we've got a little sprig here. And another little sprig. Just want to make sure we leave room for those berries. Let's put this up here. We also want to make sure we leave room for die cutting. So we're going to get as much on here as we can. Probably need to get another piece of cardstock. But I'm going to stamp all of these out first with the sprout. No, I'm going to stamp these 2 with sprout, and then I'll come in with these in my darker color, which is the avocado. So we can get these in. It's okay if I get some of this color onto those other, because we're just going to stamp over it anyway. Okay, not the best stamp job, so I am going to just do those one more time, especially the top part. I think we're okay at the bottom. Oops. There we go, that's better. So I went ahead and added the second layer to those leaves, and now I'm going to do all of them in the avocado color. I don't know if you guys can hear, my cat is up here, which he doesn't come up here very often because the stairs are a little hard for him. And, but he is up here purring away. He's having a good time. Oh, those came out pretty. All right, I'm going to do probably another layer on these. Now, I ended up stamping these out 3 times because I was having trouble with this one right here stamping. I think I looked, I did not see anything on the stamp that would be causing an issue. So, yeah, I don't know what's going on there. But then this particular stamp has buds that go on it, so we can have little blooms. And for this, I think I'm going to do it in the darker color. All right, and I added the blooms or the buds to go with this particular one right here. I think what I'm going to do is probably stamp the leaves and the buds out a couple more times just to have them in case I need them. But isn't that adorable? I love that. That is gorgeous. So I'm going to die cut these. I just have to get these all cut apart because they are one piece and they just need to be snipped apart. So I'm just going to go ahead and cut them all. So even though I might not be using all of them, but I might as well get them done while I have everything out. Okay, so I have everything ready to roll. I broke apart my dies. I'm just going to get them all lined up here on my plate. And then we will run this through my die cutting machine. All right, so I have everything ready. So this is the color scheme that I went with. And I'm using a piece of Cobblestone cardstock instead of the ink that I planned on using. I decided to go with cardstock. Cut this out using Paper Tray Inks Reflections for March. And then I have all of my pieces that I die cut already with the coordinating dies right here in this little tray. So I'm going to keep that there and we'll come back to that in a few minutes. For right now, I'm going to be working on my card front. And I have this hot foil plate also from Paper Tray Ink. It is called, let's see, Elegant Script. And it is super pretty. I love that it has like a coffee stain. And if you read this, it's about sipping tea and, you know, being cozy and reading books. And I just think that is the nicest thing. My card base is going to be a 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. Instead of doing it as a top fold, this time I'm going to do it as a side fold. And that way this plate will be on the front of my my card front. The only thing is I want to make sure that I've got the script going in the right direction, that it's not upside down when I foil it. And if I look at the packaging, our coffee stain or tea stain is right there. And then when you put this down, that's going to be in the same spot. So I know that I have to put it in this direction right here. I have some Spellbinders foil that I cut down that's going to be close to my card front. Now I don't want to cover the whole card front with the foil. I actually want it to be a little messy. So I am actually going to take my scissors and just kind of randomly cut. I want it to be where it cuts off the words as it's going through the page. And I am simply messily cutting this foil, which isn't hard to do because the foil is so hard to cut straight anyway. So let's make sure that this is probably cut a little bit more off of one of the sides here. I think that will do it. So we're going to take our foil, put it onto our front of our plate. Hopefully we'll get it to stay. And then our card front is going to go on there. So we want to make sure, again, that we're going in the right direction. So this is going to be the top. This will be this way. Our card is going to be that way. So we want to, ooh, this is tough to think about. So we want to make sure everything is going in the right direction. So I think I've got it all figured out. And I'm trying to do it without my foil moving. And then I'm going to tape everything together. So I'm going to tape my plate right to my card front. Probably don't have to worry about the 2 layers. Oh, I probably should. Let's peel that off. I was going to keep it folded, but now that I think about it, it's going to create a lot of pressure when it's going through the machine and maybe too much. I am using 110-pound cardstock, so I'm just going to open this up and put the tape on the inside, and then we can set this onto our hot foil system, which I have right here. I'm going to take this with the plate side down and set that onto our plate here, and then I'm going to grab my 2 plates, which are underneath my machine, and set my timer to let this heat up. So just a tip why this is heating up. One thing I like to do is I like to wait for this system to get really heated. I found that I get better impressions and better coverage that way. And I'm using just regular Nina cardstock and it works just fine. All right, that's ready to go. I'm just going to move this to the side so that I can bring my cutter in closer. I'm just going to pop that off and then run this through my die cutter, which hopefully I'm not messing up by moving all those plates around. I tell you I am. Okay, take 2. So we're going to just run this through my machine, and I'm just going to go at a nice slow pace. All right, let's see how we did. I'm going to grab my tweezers just to pull this tape off. Okay, we ready? Am I in the right direction? It looks like I am. That is nice. Okay, and I love that it's got some of the embossed. So hopefully the camera can pick that up. We've got embossed edged here, but then it cuts off the foiling. I really like that. I'm going to set this aside because that is mighty hot. I'm going to turn off my machine here. Grab my bone folder to get my crease back in place there. So there we go. Okay, so I am just going to now play with putting this onto here. I'm okay with the fact that there's a little bit of that showing through. Might end up being covered up once I get my flowers in place. I'm just going to set this up, see how I like it, and then we can glue everything down. All right, I had to do a little emergency stamp session because I decided I wanted to add a center into this smaller flower. So I pulled out an acrylic block and we added a little flower center. I'm going to grab one of my tiny foam adhesives and get that onto the back of that flower. So we are ready to go with putting this together. Most of it is going to end up being glued straight down, but my flowers are going to be popped up a little bit, and I'm probably going to add more dimension to these as I go, but just to get everything in place to start, I'm just leaving it that way. So I think what I'm going to do is kind of decide what's going to go where. So I made sure I had one of each on either side. Well, two, I actually have, yeah, one of each on either side. And we are going to start there. I'm not going to glue the entire leaf down. I'm only gluing just the bottom half because I want it to be able to pop without having to add dimension. So I'm just going to stick that one in there, and then I'm going to come to the other side and do the same thing. So I'm going to grab the same leaf. And all I'm doing is just holding my hands down and just sliding them in there, knowing that I want these to be stuck to the card front, not to my flowers. Okay, then I think I'm going to bring in our little buds here. I'm going to put one on this end and the other end, and I almost put it on the wrong end. And all I'm doing is just repeating that process on both sides. So again, this is not something I am good at because doing something floral is way out of my normal stamping style. But I'm telling you, I'm having a lot of fun. And I could see more flower projects coming in the future because this is a lot of fun to build up these pieces and then do the stamping and the coloring. And I will say this has been taking me a very long time to figure out what I was going to do. But you know, it made the process even more enjoyable. So I'm going to stick this one right here. And then I think what I'm going to do is maybe one there. I put this one down here. And I'll come up this way. So again, I'm just, like I said, I'm just doing the opposite on these. Okay, I think I have this figured out. So one thing I need to do is just pull these out. I just have to glue these other ones in. I think I have this set up the way I want it set up. And you know what? I don't even think I'm going to add a sentiment to this card because my aunt texted me. She's coming to visit in a couple weeks. And she asked me if I had any just plain note cards. And I don't because everything is usually themed towards something. But I probably will leave this one blank. And she could take this one. See that I forgot to pop out these centerpieces here. Stick this one right there. I think it's looking pretty good. See, another centerpiece I forgot. Okay, so these should be all stuck into place. Looks like a hot mess under there, but that is okay. We're gonna let this dry a little bit. I'm gonna add, I think, another layer of foam adhesive onto the back of these. I added some extra adhesive to the back, so these lay a lot flatter. Just peeling the backings off. And this one is going to go right about here. So let's add some liquid adhesive to the back of those labels just in case I have to move this around at all. I'm going to get this into place right here. And that one I only did the thinner foam adhesive. This one I doubled up on. This is the medium size. I'm going to put that one right about there, which works out perfectly because I didn't put any adhesive over here or foam adhesive there, so we should be okay. Let me bring this up just a little bit. That's better. And then I'm going to place this one down a little lower. Just like that. And to finish off the card, I felt like we needed to add a little bit of extra to it. So we're just bringing in some of Gina K's Quartz sequins, which are gorgeous. I'm just going to put a little bit on either on the top and the bottom, and even going to make sure it goes off a little bit onto the card front. So that is my card for today. I had a lot of fun stepping out of my comfort zone and doing something completely different than I normally do. This card took me forever to put together. It was probably about 2 hours, but I had so much fun stepping out of my comfort zone and trying something different. Thanks everybody for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.